Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Anheuser-Busch Productions here on the Anheuser-Busch YouTube channel. And we are bringing you the back nine action here at the Fontana Spring Championship on the second round, presented by Prodigy Discs. And as always, I am joined with my broadcasting partner, Paul Rankin, aka Paul. Kevin, go ahead and say hey to everybody, Paul.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching.
And as you can see, after the second round, front nine, Brandon and David are in a deadlock at 11 under, Garrett right behind them at 10, Collin at 9, and Noah at 8. And we're going to be joining you here on hole 10. It's a par 4 that people really want to get on this course. It's pretty straightforward. It's well uphill, but it's pretty short. It's actually reachable if you have a big enough arm. But pretty much anything, if you can get past not this first road, but this second road, anything second road and beyond is a pretty easy approach shot from right there. You just pitch up and you make sure you make the putt for 3 after that point.
Yeah, so there's a hill right in front of these guys that they're all going to want to get over initially. You don't really want to finish too short left. That'll get you off to the basket. You can push it right a little bit, which looks like Noah's done that. He's put a good drive up there, slightly towards the right side.
Yep, and we just saw Collin put it on the path that I was talking about that you want to get to.
Yeah, that path is sort of the minimum. As long as you're at that path, you'll have an easy look up to the basket.
For sure, for sure. Now we're going to have David stepping up. He does have a little bit of sneaky power. He might have the distance to get all the way there. Looks like a decent little line. And wow, holy cow. That is one of the furthest drives I've seen on this hole. It's hard to get it all the way to the basket. Like, I've seen him be about 40 feet short. He's left himself like 20 feet to the basket.
Yeah, that was a great up shot from him. I'm sure he's thinking eagle right now, but in worst case, he's got an easy birdie.
Yes.
That's all you want on this hole.
Now we're going to have Brandon. A little bit of a different route than what we're seeing. He's going with the flick Annie. That's the same line I actually try to play as well. Just throw a big flick Annie up there.
Yeah, so with that line, you can obviously tell that he's not thinking eagle. He's playing it safe out to the right. Just have an easy approach here for his. He might be giving this a run for his 2, but
yeah,
it should be a simple up and down for a birdie.
From one fellow flicker to another one right here in Brandon. I know I try to play the flick Annie. Like, I sort of think eagle going through my head. He misses just left on that one. I sort of think eagle going through my head. Throw a big one out there, but if it decides not to turn over enough and it pans out right, hey, you are perfectly safe over there, and it's an easy pitch up.
See if Noah can give this one a run.
Just right. Catches the tree right behind it, too, which holds it right there. Brandon, he's got a big putt right here. Potential 2. I was about at that same spot as him, and I hit cage from there. I understand his pain. You kind of want it. And David, he's got a very short one for 2. See if he can make good on the eagle. Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Caught a ton of chains and just landed poorly. And Collin, oh no. What are you doing right there, kid?
Yeah, that was an interesting miss from Collin. It's another one of those quick putts that just was really not close.
I will say, I played with Collin the first round. Fun guy to play with. He plays quick, though, and I like that. I'm a very fast player as well. We all played well off of each other. But he didn't miss too many of those that first round, so it's surprising to see him miss a couple of these that second round.
Looks like Garrett's last tap.
Yep, he should have a pretty easy par right here. He does have that tree a little bit in his way, but from 5 feet away, it's usually not a problem. And that was hole 10 right there. So now going into hole 11, we got the scores looking at David and Brandon at 12 under, Garrett at 11, and Noah and Collin at 9. And I got to say, these guys had to wait for quite a while before they can throw their shots on hole 11 right here. By the time they got there, there was the 3 other pro cards in front of them, and then them. So they had a 4-card backup before they got to throw on this hole, and it takes 10 to 15 minutes per each card to play this hole, like, at least. So
yeah, so
and you can see the really look. Yeah, just look at all the people back there too having to wait as well. I mean, you can see there was a few cards back behind them. They ended up having to wait. Makes it tough to come out and throw a good drive, but Noah sure did put a good one out there.
Yeah, and these guys are all just trying to get down there, give himself some sort of putt towards the basket, but you don't want to turn it over too much. The road is in play off to the right. You don't want to go in early left because that'll really cut off from the basket.
Yeah, the play is just kind of throw it out to the right with hyzer. If it gets there, it gets there. Hey, you'll give yourself an eagle look. If not, just make sure you don't go too far left or too far right. Just stay in the fairway. Should be able to get a 3 on this hole. And David did put a pretty good one out there. Brandon, he might have sawed that one off. It looks like it's going a little left. I think it does. Yep, you'll see it go left. Nick does give him a safe call, though, so he's good. Nick Morgan, the tournament director for this. Big thanks to him and the Franklin Disc Golf Club for running this. Here comes Brandon. He does have a pretty big backhand as well. You see, we've already seen his flick on display, and I mentioned it first round. He was the only one that got a 2, I believe, on hole 16.
Yeah, that's no easy feat. Looks like he's playing a big hyzer out.
Yep.
Trying to swing in towards the basket.
I think we saw it just pop into the screen. And Collin, he is a very quick player, as I mentioned, so it tends to barely catch any of his drives going. But, oh, you saw it. Yeah.
May have pulled that one a little bit to the right.
Yeah, but it's fine over there. He's sitting over towards the next tee box, but perfectly fine at that spot.
He is safe. This is, however, a pretty tough upshot.
It is.
You really can't see the basket. You can't see what you're going for, and it can be tough to get it to sit at the right distance. Looked like he floated his out a little left and short.
Now we got Brandon. He's got to get inventive here. He's got a lot of stuff in his way. He's going for a little pancake shot. What happens here? Little long? Oh, B. Excuse me, that was Garrett. I keep calling him Brandon.
That's a good looking line, but just couldn't quite get it to slide down to the pin the way he wanted.
Yep, and we just had David throw his approach shot right there. He puts it pretty close. There is Noah somewhere in the mix over there, but he pitches up and over everything.
That's a great upshot from Noah.
Collin? Nice putt right there. Good save on the 3 for him.
Yeah, that's a good putt to hit after missing a few ones that I'm sure he wanted back.
And I believe Brandon actually stayed in bounds on his shot. Let's see what he does right here. Long putt for him. Up. Oh, no good. It looks like he caught that tree right before it. It might have went in without it.
It may have slowed it down just enough to hit the nub on the cage.
And Garrett going for the 4 save after going OB. No good. He's going to have to settle for a 5 on this hole, which is not what you want to get.
Yeah, the case with this hole and any par 4 out on this course is you really always feel like you should 3 it.
Yeah.
There's some that are a little bit more difficult, but the par 4s are really where you get your birdies out here.
For sure. It's one of those that you're not too upset if you get par, but you don't ever want to take worse than that. Like, if you take anything worse, you're definitely losing strokes to the group. So now we have a lead change for the first time in the tournament. David at 13, Brandon at 12, Noah and Garrett and Collin at 10. And this hole right here can be a bit of a scary one. There's not too much danger other than if you go to the right, because right is down a mountain, and I have seen discs fly down through there and never stop going. And this hole is actually pushed back about another 60 feet as well than what you just saw right there in the second round. So you're going to see a little bit more wide shots coming from these guys. Here's Noah, big flick out there. See where he can finish up. There's the basket, and there's the disc finishing on the left side of the screen. Nice shot from him.
Good safe play, and as you mentioned, these players are really just, they obviously want to get the 2, the basket's right there, they can put it close, but I expect them all to play some sort of shot wide out to the left and not contend at all with the trees and the woods on the right side.
And you saw that one. It got a little bit close to that hill right there by David, but he's safe. He's going to leave himself probably about a 50 to 55 footer. Collin, I do not believe he has a flick. I don't remember seeing him throw one. And that tends to be the backhand play right there, kind of bail out left.
Yeah, the backhand is certainly there. You can get it there, but you really have to push that right side if you want to get all the way to the basket. Either that or throw something that turns towards the basket, but that's a risky play.
We could
Most backhand players are going to play it pretty safe.
Yeah, we could actually see Brandon's shot. His went into the woods. I believe it did stop, but his did go like into the woods. And Garrett, good little flick from him right there. So here's Collin approaching. I don't think he was given that much of a run. On the other side of that basket is just danger. You don't want to get too crazy with that. Now David, as mentioned, he's got about a 50 to 55 footer for his birdie.
Safer of an angle on this one. We'll see if he runs this one.
Putt is up.
Looks like he's giving it a run.
Oh man, big putt from David right there.
Wow, what a putt!
I'm telling you, this
great way to come back from a shot that he seemed to saw it off a little bit, and didn't even matter. He made up for it with that great putt.
Yeah, he missed a short one on hole 10, so that's always nice seeing that big one go in right there. Now Brandon getting a little lucky down there. He caught hard. He was coming in at a big angle on that flick, and he found the one little flat area. He's got a putt for 2, and little step putt no good once again off cage this time. You can see in the background, look at the trees whipping back there. So even though Garrett is half the distance as David was, it's no easy putt from here.
Yeah, and especially the angle he's coming in at.
Oh, just misses it left. Yep.
But definitely wanted that one.
And Noah, good drive from him. He's left himself about 15 feet, but as mentioned, the wind was going. It doesn't look like it's doing too much right there. It's just kind of swirly though. But the putt is up and good. Good conversion for him.
Smooth looking putt from Noah. He's got a really nice stroke.
He does. Collin tapping out the 3. And Garrett and Brandon should be able to do the same. Garrett's kind of got a tree to contend with, but no problem. He's only about 5 feet away. And that's going to bring us towards hole 13 now, after do a quick little zoom in on hole 12. Looks beautiful right there. I like how they put the flags on top of a lot of these baskets. This next one that you're going to see actually does have a flag on top as well. David extended his lead to 2 now, but this hole has a flag on top of it. You can see the flag come into the frame right there, and it helps you so much because this hole is blind off the tee box, even though it doesn't really look it with the drone footage, but it's blind off the tee box, and that flag helps you see just the top of it. Kind of gives you an aiming point, but this hole is dangerous. Left is bad. You're going to roll down the hill. Right is worse. You're in the woods and down a mountain. So really, you just kind of want to make sure you land on this plateau up top if you can.
Yeah, you want to match the distance and maybe play it a little left to be safer, but it's tough to do that when you, as you mentioned, you can only see the top of the flag. It's hard to gauge that distance. You really have to just practice this ahead of time, and these players are relying on their practice to decide how far to throw. Yeah,
practice and commit. You just got to trust your shot on this one. And Brandon and David both put some pretty good ones out there. And as mentioned before, Collin doesn't really have much of a flick. I never saw him throw one, so he's got to try to go with a little backhand turnover. But he's got some sneaky distance. And now we're going to see what Garrett can do. And I was a little bit surprised to see him try to go with the backhand right here. He had been throwing some pretty decent flicks.
Yeah, he did throw a sidearm at this on the first round, I believe. Maybe it's just a change in the wind or something. I don't think he was happy with his drive the first round, but I'm surprised to see him not just try to correct the sidearm instead of changing the backhand.
So Collin pitches up. He's going to just try to get the 3, and you can see there's the first hole location right at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, that yellow and black peg, and it's pushed back about 30 more feet into the woods on this second round.
It looks like Brandon may be lining up an anti-putt. I'm not sure. He seems to have to get around some trees, and gave it a decent run, but just went past the basket.
Garrett, in the middle of the woods, putts up. Oh my goodness, he made that putt from down in there.
That was a great putt. Shows how much we know about criticizing his backhand choice.
Right? Yeah, manages to make it work. All those guys were like, "Man, how'd you get that in during that?" It's pretty crazy. I can't blame him for saying that. It looked like he had nothing and just managed to find the one gap. Collin makes good on the par for himself right there. And here's Noah, I believe, putting for a 2.
This has been a good stretch of holes for Noah so far. See if he can keep this up.
Yeah, him and David both have Been pretty hot so far here on this backside. Yep, falls in. Good putt for Noah, and we still haven't seen David take his putt yet either. Looks like he's got a relatively short one as well for birdie.
Yeah, and these are both really good shots
Oh,
on this hole. It's
it's
tough to get all the way down there and stay this close to the pin.
yeah. I landed left of the basket about 20 feet and had it hit on that hill and roll to about 100 feet away. So it just to show that these guys they had to put it perfect up there, and both of them did that. It's hard to get it to stop.
Try to connect for his birdie.
Mm-hmm.
No problems there. Putting well today so far.
That makes, I believe, 5 in a row for him going back to hole 9. Or no, he didn't get hole 9. That makes the front 4 right here on this backside. He's been doing really well so far. So he's at 15 under. Noah has caught up with Brandon now at 12, Garrett at 11, and Collin at 10. And now we're on to what I consider probably one of the easier par 4s on the course. There's really no OB danger. You just got to make sure you get off the tee box. If you miss those first couple of trees, it's wide open up to the basket. Danger right, though, so do not go right. You're in the thick of the woods over there.
Yeah, there's a couple different gaps that these players can opt for. Looks like Noah's taking the middle gap between those two trees, and that's the more direct line. You can get a little closer to the basket. You can also just throw out wide left of those trees and play a safer line. Just throw out far left as you want to. There's no danger over there, and then pitch up right towards the pin.
Yeah, you'll see most people, especially in the pro division, they tend to go up the middle. Those trees are far enough apart that they don't really feel like they're in the way. So you'll see them just most of the time go right up the gut. It's just you can get a lot closer, and it makes the approach shot a lot easier. We've seen 3 pretty good ones so far. See if Collin can follow suit. Looks like he's kind of going up the right-hand side. Makes it work, though. Gets around everything. And here's a flick up the gut. And he gets a good one. He gets a good one.
Yeah. As you mentioned, this hole is really just position on your first shot.
Yep.
Unless you can get it all the way to the basket, which is a remote possibility, you're really just trying to get out into the flat, give yourself an easy approach, get your birdie and move on.
And you can tell Noah, even his shot with how short it was, it's a pretty easy approach from there. He puts a pretty good flick up. He'll have a putt for birdie. And all these other guys had some nice shots. I mean, whenever you're approaching from the bottom of that hill for 2, that's nice. Brandon's actually going to give this a jump putt run from, I'd say, 80 to 90. Pulls it. That tends to be what happens whenever it's like at the cusp of how far you can throw a jump putt. You try to put a little bit more arm into it and you pull it. I know it happens to me all the time whenever I go for long jump putts.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon and David both just jump putting approaching. Looks like Garrett.
It is? Oh, no. Low. Just the entire way. Never gave that one enough height. Collin is going to tap out for 3. And the rest of these guys should pretty well have tap outs. David, Brandon, and Noah for 3. And I believe Garrett's going to have to settle for a 4 on this one. Paul, Kevin, I know you've got to play this course. Do you have like a favorite hole out here or anything?
For me, the most memorable hole probably is, well, they've already played it, but I believe hole 11, the long par 4 downhill to the left. That's just such a fun tee shot. It's really memorable for me. I also really enjoy 16.
Yeah.
Going down to the road. We'll see that one coming up.
Yeah, 16 is probably one of my favorite holes on the course as well. And I also just really like hole 6. We got to see that in the front side. It's just one of those holes that like it rewards a good shot and it can punish a bad one. Like I like holes like that. So that finishes off hole 14. Come up after 14, we have David at 16 under, perfect backside so far for him, 5 under after the first 5. And Noah at 13, Brandon and Garrett at 12, and Collin at 11. In this hole, you're going to get to see what first round position was. Second round, it is pushed, I'd say, 80 feet at least to the right of this. It actually made it an extremely difficult hole to get to. It kind of turned what I thought was a flick hole into more of a backhand hole, but you're going to see some of these guys still throw a flick.
Yeah, and this is a pretty tight hole, especially after all the holes that they've just played, which were more open. This hole, you really got to think about hitting the line. making sure that you get over all this short stuff. If you hit something really early, there's a lot of brush down there that you don't want to get caught up in.
Yeah, for sure. David, he played a pretty good shot right there. He's probably left himself 30 feet, kind of short and left of the basket. I'm telling you, it's such a hard hole to get to. As I said, I feel like it is more of like a backhand turnover shot now with the putter that just fades down to the basket.
Yeah, that's the play that Collin went with there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it actually.
Looks like Garrett's lining up for a sidearm as well.
It actually did surprise me to see a few of these guys throw flicks. Because I would consider myself a flick player, and I think you would too, Paul Kevin. And I decided to go backhand on this hole. So seeing some of these guys throw flicks, I was thinking, man, maybe I should have just tried throwing a flick. But I mean, I got my backhand close. I just missed the putt.
Yeah, it's interesting to see different players and their different thought processes, whether they're playing the flick to get closer to the pin or if they just feel like they can hit the line better.
Mm-hmm.
It varies from player to player, but I do like a course like this where you're given the option of different lines.
Yeah, for sure. See what Collin's able to do. His backhand came up short. He's just pitching up. He's going to settle for a 3. Noah, he's probably 40 to 50. It is downhill, though, so it plays a little shorter, but that's something that the camera can never do well is capture hills. He has got a pretty severe slope right here that he's putting downhill on.
Yeah, and this is one of those putts. I'm sure he's given it a bid. He's not too far back from David, but it's a scary putt to miss if you're worried about rolling away.
Yeah.
It looks like he either decided to lay up or just couldn't really commit to that one, but either way, he's going to be close for his 3.
Mm-hmm. You can see first round tee is right there on that stump, or the basket, I mean. Let's see if Garrett's able to convert on a 2. He missed a short one last hole. There you go. Had a way to fight back. Get yourself back in the negative column.
Yeah, it was a nice solid stroke from Garrett.
David, he steps up, putting for his 2 as well. So far, he's got the first 5 holes on the backside. Can he get a 6th one in a row? Put up. Putt good. Why not? Keep it going.
Yeah, David's just playing really well so far. And with the holes that are left, it's a very good chance that he can birdie the entirety of this back 9, which is great to see.
He's got, well, I will say 16, it did get pushed back, so you got to remember that. It actually turned into a much harder hole. 17 and 18, not too hard to get your birdies on those. Well, 17 got pushed back a little bit more difficult too, but 16 is a tough hole to get a 3 on now. But let's see what the scores are after hole 15 right there. We have David at 17, Garrett taking over second place at 13, Brandon at 12, Noah also at 13 under with Garrett and Collin. One back of Brandon at 11.
Yeah, so now with 3 holes left and 4 strokes of a lead from David, he's really just needs to play conservatively.
Yep.
If he wants to, just don't make any mistakes and he'll be fine.
Yeah, he can put it into cruise control right here. I mean, it's almost impossible to gain 4 strokes on someone if they just keep getting pars right here, because these holes are gettable, but they're not really like eagleable. So I'm telling you, if he just plays safe, but hey, why not keep doing what you're doing? He puts a beautiful flick all the way down there. He would have actually been pretty well almost parked in the short position for a 2.
Yeah, and that's a great play on this hole. You can also take the backhand line and try to push it a little bit more, but that may be a little bit more risky depending on how confident you are with that shot. You've got the road left OB, and if you turn it over too much right, then you won't really have a line for your approach. But
yeah, and
Garrett's taken that line.
Yeah, and he actually caught the trees on the right hand side right there, fell down. I think he's in the rough of the stuff over there. And that is how you want to play a backhand shot on this hole. That was a beautiful one right there from Noah.
Yeah, that's a great play, just keeping it in the middle the whole way.
And Brandon, he managed to grab what I believe was the only 2 in the first round on this hole whenever it was in the short. He went out, big flick out over the road. He's going to try to replicate that shot right here.
Yeah, and the road play certainly is there. There's a gap down there. It's just scary to
Yep.
throw it out way over OB.
Yeah.
Because if you catch something coming back in, you've got to take your third shot from almost near the tee pad.
Yep, and that's kind of what happened right there. He went out of bounds. He went a little bit further down than some other people, but he went out of bounds. So here's Garrett. He managed to stay right outside of the stuff. Let's see if he can have a decent approach right here. He kind of catches some trees. I think he might have ended up in the water. I'm not sure.
Looks like David is lining up a
Mm-hmm.
bummer or some sort of overhand approach to the pin.
Almost maybe a tomahawk. Yeah, it is a tomahawk. Gets it up there, goes up the right-hand side. He's safe over there. He'll have probably just 25 feet for his par. Or, excuse me, for his birdie. Here is Brandon coming up with another approach right there. And that one goes a little long. He's going to have big putt to save a par.
Yeah, that was awkward. It's an interesting play from him lining up right at the OB, and he had his foot on the OB, which would be a penalty, but it looked like he was careful to lift his left leg right as he threw. So
yeah,
smart play from him to get as much of that angle as possible on the left side.
Now we're going to have Collin stepping up. This one, oh my goodness, he releases it well left. Is it going to fight its way back? Oh, he stays just in bounds over there. He's risking it down there, but he's good.
Yeah, that is a scary play, throwing that floaty backhand Annie out over the road, but he did it well, and he should be right there.
That was Garrett's fourth shot, I believe, right there. So he's still got some work left for a 5. Let's see what Noah's able to do. Just putt up and good. Nice putt from Noah right there.
Yeah, Noah's been playing well in this back nine, really this entire round. A couple holes that kind of got away from him more or less, but his putting's been solid all day.
Now here's Garrett trying to save a bogey from 35 feet out. His putt up, left all the way, and oh no. OB. That's not what you want to see.
It is unfortunate, so close to the end of the round, but just pushing his shaved strokes and ended up costing him.
Now, Brandon, save a par. There you go.
Nice solid putt from Brandon.
That's a very good 4 on the hole after going out of bounds. Let's see what Collin's able to do right here. Putt from about 20 feet himself and just pulls it. He is very, he moves a lot after he throws his putt. So he takes his putt and you can see him like contorting his body, trying to force the putt to go the direction he wants it to go. It's fun to play with Collin. He moves around a lot.
Yeah, it is a strategy that lots of people love to employ.
Yep, for sure. And so we saw Garrett tap out a 7. And here's David to be 4 strokes better on the hole and get a 3. See if he's able to convert. The putt is up and good. Makes him 7 for 7 on the backside so far.
Yeah, really impressive play from David so far. At this point, the tournament is his to lose, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's now given himself, I believe, a 5-stroke lead. It's 4 or 5-stroke lead with 2 holes left. He's kind of separating himself from the field. So he is at 18. Noah next closest at 13. Brandon 12. Collin 11. And Garrett, after the triple bogey, drops down to 10. Now onwards to hole 17. As mentioned, this hole did get pushed back. It's not nearly as easy as it was the first round. You can see there's the front, or the first round location. Second round is probably a good 100 feet further and kind of out and to the left a little bit. It makes it a little bit of a tighter shot. You got a couple more trees to contend with, and it just takes a bigger shot.
We'll see if David can show us the way. He's been throwing well so far this round.
And I've got to tell you, he does. He puts a beautiful drive out there. You can't really follow it anywhere on the screen, but it's like underneath the basket. He threw a beautiful one.
It's a great way to finish out this round.
Noah, he's trying to pump one out there as well. He gets a decent little turn, just never fights his way back. Does catch a tree at the end, though. Helps out a little.
Yeah, you should have some sort of look at it. Long jumper.
Brandon hasn't been playing necessarily bad, but he's just losing strokes because he's not getting the birdies where everyone else is. Fades that one a little left.
Yeah, this course is not particularly difficult, but it's one that you really feel like you do need to get every hole possible. If you par, you're really missing out.
Yep. For sure, for sure. So Collin, he threw a good one, but nailed the tree that's kind of like a guardian one in the middle. See if Garrett can bounce back after the really unfortunate triple bogey right there. Good little drive, fades it left, though. He's probably left himself 40 feet for a birdie. Here's Brandon after his drive. He's got a 50-footer for a 2. Putt up. Looks like it's right all the way. Yeah, a little bit short as well.
It would be interesting to know what compels him to putt, step putt, or jump putt. We've seen all three of him at different times during the round.
Oh.
Noah there almost cashing a really good birdie putt. What would have been?
Here's Garrett. Let's see if he can get back on the 2 train. Nope. Off the band right there. And here's David. Yeah, he's pretty well right under the basket again. I'm telling you, that's about as close as you can really get a drive on this hole, and I think he got CTP again.
Yeah, that is a great shot from him.
I mean, why not, right? Like, when it's going well, it's going well. 8 for 8 now on the backside. Moved from 11 under going in after the first 27 holes to now 19 under after 35. So, not too bad.
Yeah, he's playing really well this round. It's fun to watch.
Garrett taps out the par, and everyone else should pretty well do the same right here. It is worth noting that we did have to move over to camera footage for the last, 4 holes or so. Camera died on us, or excuse me, phone camera footage, not regular camera footage. So, David, he's extended his lead. 19 under. Next closest is at 13, and that would be Noah. So now we're on to hole 18, last hole of the Fontana Spring Championships. Pretty straightforward. It is pushed back about another 40 feet, kind of back behind these guardian trees here on the left-hand side. But it's been fun watching David go on so far. Let's see if he can get one more to make it a perfect backside for him.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's pushed back a little bit, but still definitely a birdie hole. The play is the same as it was in round 1 on your tee shot. You just want to throw something up the gut, just like David's done.
Yep, and he's
down the middle of the fairway.
He's put it a decent ways up there too. He's actually left himself like an eagle putt. So let's see if Noah can try to match that. He's been playing solid, but it's hard to keep up with someone that literally isn't missing.
Yeah, it looks like Noah's a great drive out there.
That's beautiful.
Close approach.
Yeah, by this point in my round, I started just having some fun. I actually tried a flick roller on this hole. I managed to jump over the wooden fence in OB. It was pretty crazy.
Wow. Yeah, not the traditional play that you're going to see for most players.
No, it wasn't. I was just starting to have some fun. Brandon gets a little unfortunate, though, and catches a tree right there, kicks him over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, that's the miss that you'll see most players do on this hole. You're always conscious of that OB on your left, so if you're going to miss the fairway at all, most players pull it a little to the right, and then if you hit one of those trees, it can be at least a stroke, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's a well-designed hole. It makes you get scared of going OB left, but you got a lot of guardians on that right-hand side, and right is bad. You can see it's just jungle over there.
It looks like everybody else got pretty well up the fairway. We'll see if Brandon's able to recover from this.
He does have a good flick on him. He's got to kind of go up and over some trees. He's got a big shot right here. Awkward looking stance, but he puts a good one up there. I don't know if we'll get to see it finish, but he's got a putt for birdie. It was a very good shot from him, from where he was.
Yeah, that is impressive from where he was to be cut off and have to throw such a steep hyzer angle, but still get up near the pin.
Yeah, there's Collin after he throws his shot, jumping around. Look out, Mama Kastle. Car coming at you. She's safe, as is Noah. Let's see if Noah can make a good shot right here. Gave it a good run.
Slight bid on that one. Not quite a jump putt, more of a throw from a putting stance. It was an interesting approach. Worked out well for him.
Why not? Him and Brandon are kind of in a fight right now for second. That was a decent little shot from Garrett right there. He's left himself 10 to 15 for a birdie. And here is David. See if he can cap off his round with an eagle. Move to 21 under. Putt up. Just a little short, but hey, tap in birdie for the win and to shoot a perfect 9 under on the backside. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's really impressive shooting from David. It was fun to watch him play, and
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the guys are playing well too for the most part. But it's hard to compete with 9 under through 9 holes.
Yeah, perfection is hard to beat. That's for sure. Collin pulls his putt a little bit. He's going to have to settle for par on the last hole. He played a good tournament, though. Let's see if Garrett, he's struggled a little bit over the last few holes. See if he can cap off his tournament with a birdie to finish it off. Just low all the way. He gave it a thumbs up saying, hey, appreciate it. Might have been a different finger, I'm not sure, but we'll call it a thumb up.
Noah to finish off a really solid round.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Good birdie to finish off the day. That gives him second place. Brandon, tapping out as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Brandon's a little frustrated with, surrendering the lead early on. David did play very well, certainly, but there's some strokes out there Brandon wanted back, but he pulled it together in the end and played really well in those last few holes.
And do have to give a big congrats out there to David. I mean, he just played solid the entire way, for sure. And that last 9 was incredible. He ended up shooting, I believe, like 1,045 rated to finish it off. It was awesome. So David at 20 under, Noah 14, Brandon 13, Collin 11, and Garrett at 10 under. I believe I put up the entirety of the scores right here in just a second. But Paul, Kevin, if you want to mention just anything from this tournament that you really enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed watching him play. The course is, as I said, it's a really pretty course. It's well designed.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to watch. And it's fun to watch these guys play well, too.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see the final scores here. So David, the only player under triple digits on his total stroke count.
Which is incredible to shoot 50 and then 40. He shot 50 in the shorts and then 48 in the longer layout. So just really, really good job from him. Want to say once again, thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video. So long.